Okay, I think I'm live. Is this working? Let me refresh my YouTube. Okay, mute it. Can you hear me? Is it working? Is this on? Hello? It's been many years since I've done one of these. Oh, I can't tell if it's working. I think I have a really big delay. Let's see. Yes, it's working. Okay, great. A lot of problems going on right now. It's really windy here today. The power's gone out 4 or 5 times today, which is why I'm doing this instead of trying to record, because I've recorded and lost it a bunch of times already, and I'm kind of tired of that. That's no fun. So this is just easier. This will serve as the video I would have uploaded later. But I also have a house full of plumbers now because we have a leak in a pipe underground. So there's going to be noise. I can't help it. I don't want to wait. I just want to get this done. So we're doing it. Sound is smooth. Good, good, good. Um, I still have really bad allergies, all kinds of meds, mouth noises. Sorry about that. I try to edit them out of the video. Can't edit it out of this, so maybe the mic just won't pick them up. We'll see. All right. I was going to record another video for today. That's not working so well, so we're just going to do it here. I have a lot to say, a lot to talk about in regards to some of the comments coming in and things like that. A couple of things I want to say first. Yesterday I was talking about web sleuths, and I was concerned about that big thumbnail they had with the shit's hitting the fan. And so I was like, oh, here we go. Because they have gone at me before. I'm not just making it up out of thin air. They actually did have quite a go at me years ago. So I had a reason to think maybe that was going to be a thing. But no, I tuned into it last night, and Trisha comes up and she's talking about, I'm going to tell you all about Mr. Poop. And I'm like, I said to my husband, did she just say Mr. Poop? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. But then I was hooked. It's actually a really good episode. Go watch it. I'm glad she did that. Good job, Trisha. It was actually a fascinating story. So yeah, I had fun watching Web Sleuths last night. Who would have thought that would ever happen? That was cool. So I wanted to mention that. So because if I make a mistake, I'm going to call myself out. You don't have to worry about it. So I own up to the fact that I was paranoid yesterday about the Web Sleuth thing for no reason. It's all good. All right. So kudos to Trisha for that. Using my videos. Somebody came to me yesterday and left a big comment. Hi, Awen. Thank you so much for allowing me to use your video. And I'm like, do what now? Do what? Apparently, she had taken my entire video and streamed it over on her channel. And I honestly don't care, really. I'm not monetized. I'm not trying to do anything here. I really don't care. But she didn't ask first. But then to thank me for allowing her without, I was like, that's kind of a weird thing. So please just ask me first. 99% of the time, I'm going to say yes. You do have to be a little bit careful because the music that I use in my videos is music that I personally own, especially my intro and outro song. I paid a lot of money for that song, and you might get tagged for that by YouTube, not me. I mean, I could tag you for that. I'm not going to, but YouTube might because you don't have the licensing for that song. All right. And most of the song in the background I have paid for through Kevin MacLeod. You can use it free with attribution, but I have paid for it so I can use it without attribution. So you might get flagged. All right. So that's a fair warning. I'm not doing it, but watch your back. All right. You should always ask first. If you ask first, life will go better. All right. The flying monkeys. I wanted to address you, you crazy flying monkeys. Get out of my page. You guys are leaving some nasty comments. Not you guys, the flying monkeys are. And honestly, you're not doing Lauren any favors. You're really not. You're making it look like all of her little followers are going around just being nasty twats because that's what you're doing. You're not helping, right? You're not hurting me. You're kind of making me giggle, but you're hurting Lauren's case. She's trying to come off as a victim. She's trying to come off as someone who's being hurt. You're not helping, right? If you want to help Lauren, that is not the way to go about it. So stop yourself and think for a minute, all right? Okay? So that I wanted to say that. All right, before I get into the big point of today's video, there's one thing that I wanted to say. I was talking to Joe about it earlier. And on the live stream, oh yeah, let me mention that live stream first of all. Uh, yeah, I don't. Oh, everything's closed. I will link it in the description below. I went to live stream this morning with Granny. Was it Granny Watching? Um, my brain is fried. I honestly don't remember the name of the channel, but she was wonderful. She invited me on. Kresha came on. We had a great conversation. I had to disappear because my power went out. Okay, great. But it was wonderful. She was an incredibly gracious host. Her entire community was nice. So I will link to Granny's watching. Thank you. I will link to her channel once this is done. So please go check out the video and give her a like because she was really. I would like to sit and talk with her for quite a while. She has a story to tell that I didn't get to hear because I mean I just met her this morning. So, but she was wonderful. So yeah, Granny watching. All right, bullies. We're gonna start this whole story today about bullies because Lauren Matthias is a bully and she was my bully. All right, so yeah, bullies. I don't like bullies. Um, way back when this happened. Sorry, that was the plumbers leaving. They should be gone now. Hopefully, they'll be quiet. Uh, way back when this happened, I was scared of Lauren because, first of all, I've never seen someone do some of the things she did. Uh, I didn't know what she was going to do next. And every time I tried to fix anything, she would start some other new problem. So it was fear. There was a lot of fear involved. And when all this started, whenever she did her 9-hour live, when I was watching it, I did feel that big scary bully person. Ooh, you can't really help but feel that sometimes, and I felt it. I'm going to admit that. I was a chicken. But what changed things for me, what made me come out of hiding and say something, was watching Turtle Boy's coverage of it. Because now, whatever you feel about Turtle Boy, I get it. I'm an older woman. I'm kind of a grandma type personality. I don't go in for all that kind of language and stuff all the time. It's not my cup of tea. But I admire the work he does. Okay, and definitely. But we're not here to talk about the Karen Reed case. I'm here to talk about him as a person. What he did when he started covering her 9-hour live stream was, I didn't even click in my head until the other day. It's like, for me, I was a kid sitting in bed, crouching under my blankets, and this big, scary monster shadow on the wall, right? And I was cowering in fear of this big, scary monster. Aiden walked in, turned on the light switch, and said, "What are you scared of? It's just a stuffed animal on the floor, making a weird shadow," right? That's what he did with his coverage. He shone the light on my monster and showed me I didn't have to be afraid of her anymore. And that, to me, because when I was watching it, I was like, why am I having such a powerful reaction to watching him make fun of her? When he put those eyebrows on, man, I haven't laughed that hard in a really long time. But it felt so good. It didn't feel good to pick on her, say mean things. It felt good to see somebody else unmask the bully, unmask the monster, and turn that monster from this big, scary thing that caused me a lot of pain into a silly little clown that had no power over me. None. Aiden did that for me. He didn't do it intentionally. He had no idea who I was. He wasn't doing it for my sake, but he was. He was doing it for everyone's sake who's ever been bullied by her. And I went in his live last night and gave him a super chat and said, thank you for doing that. Thank you, because you kind of gave me a piece of my life back that I had put away in a box because it was scary. I'm not afraid to open it up anymore and look at it and be like, not so fast, chickadee, not so fast. So to me, it was a big revelation. It was an amazing thing to realize that that's what's happened. That's what's changed in my head. And to know that there may be other people out there feeling just like I do right now who just haven't wanted to say so yet. I hope they do. I hope they're ready to come out and be like, hey, yeah, me too. Right? So thank you, Aiden. I There are no words to really express how much I appreciate what you've done. Even unintentionally, it was amazing. So there we go. Now, a lot of people have been asking me in the comments, um, actually, not a lot of people, a couple of flying monkey type people are coming at me saying, "You need to give receipts. You need to prove what you're saying. What did she even do to you?" And I'm like, that was never the point of this. The point of this was for me to come out and say, hey, yes, that woman has done bad things to a lot of people for a lot of years. All right. She did it to me. It's not cool. It needs to stop. The point is to make it stop and not make it stop by destroying her. That's crazy. To make it stop by trying to approach it with love and compassion, like I've tried for a couple days, doesn't seem to be working so well. But if I could get through to Lauren with love and compassion and get her to see that what she's doing is hurting people and stop, wouldn't we all win? Right? We would all win. I don't think that's going to happen. And I wasn't being naive. I was being hopeful. If there's a shred of hope that I could have gotten through to her that way, that would have been the way to go. It's not working. It's not. Carrie says, please stop this mean girl shit. The only people that say mean girl are mean girls. I learned that this morning. Carrie, this is not mean girl shit. This is someone who abused me and caused me all kinds of crap. And I walked away. I did stop it. All right. 4 years ago, I did stop. I didn't fight and do mean girl shit. I went away and disappeared. Okay. I did the right thing. That didn't stop it. She just turned on to other targets. And she's been going through all these targets all these years. So now what? I came back to be like, hey, to add my voice to the list of people that she has hurt and say, cut it out. So don't give me this I'm doing mean girl crap. I am not in the mood for your shit today. All right. I have one moderator in here and he will delete you pretty quick. If anyone would like to mod for this chat, I want the flying monkeys gone. I am not dealing with your shit. So if anyone wants to babysit chat and boot out the flying monkeys, please raise your hand. I will flag you up as a mod because I'm not playing with them because they're dumb. So just like Aiden, I'm taking a leaf out of Aiden's book. We're not playing that crap. So, oh, Nikki, Nikki Fleming, hi. Oh my God, hi. Hold on, let me grab you. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I haven't done this in many years. I forget. There we go. Make mod. All right. There's Nikki. Nikki's not gonna let you pull that crap around me. All right, let me just check chat. See if anyone else volunteered. Got Nikki and who's that? Joanne. All right, Joanne. Thank you very much. All right. There's 3 mods. If things get crazy as this goes on and we need more, just yell. I will get you some more. Okay, so yeah, if you're gonna troll me, if you're here to try to tell me I'm doing something bad, blah 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 blah, the mods are just gonna kick you out. We're not even gonna discuss it because I've had enough abuse from this woman and her flying monkeys to last a lifetime, and I am under no obligation to take any more. Okay, so go. All right, back to my story. I wanted to tell because people, I mean, yeah, if I'm going to say that, you got to have some kind of idea of what actually happened. I've been trying to avoid it because I don't really want to go there. I don't really want to try to make Lauren look like, whatever. But you do need some context and some background. So I'm going to tell you my story lightly. Okay, lightly. I will save. I'm not going to get into all the details and all the receipts and all that stuff unless it goes there. I'm hoping it doesn't go there, but you need to know what happens. I started off by watching YouTube, and I found this guy that I thought was really funny. I loved his channel. I started to be a mod for him and got to know people and learn the YouTube stuff. And from his channel, I met my best friend, Denise Rainey. Love this woman to the moon and back. And she wanted to start her channel, so she was doing some true crimey type stuff. trying to figure out where she wanted to go with her channel. And she got this story in December of 2019 about these two missing kids, JJ and Tylee. And she said, "Oh, these two kids are missing out of Idaho. Oh, this is awful." And she brought it to me and our other friend and was telling us about it. And we're like, "Oh, gosh, that is awful." Uh, and she started making videos about it. And very quickly, we saw the very first appeal to the media by Kay and Larry Woodcock, talking about them, talking about the kids, and getting the story out. So, of course, she pushed that and started researching, looking at the family, and she was starting to come back with some stuff. She was like, "This is not just a missing kids case. This is some kind of weird religious cult thing." And I'm like, "Uh-oh." She's like, "Well, why don't you guys handle it on Paul's channel?" Because it was a much bigger channel. And I'm like, I don't want to touch that. And Paul was like, "Yeah, no. Religious cults is not something we wanted to dive into because you can get into trouble with that." So Denise was like, "I'm going to do it." I'm like, "I'm here to help you. Let me know what you want." So I was helping her do research. I would go on her live streams with her a lot. And we were really doing it. We started working 10, 18 hours a day covering the very early parts of the Vallow Daybell case. Um, and everything was going good for us. Obviously we were doing fine. The case was getting bigger and bigger, and national attention, and more YouTube channels started popping up, which we thought was great. The more coverage, the better. Find those kids. That was the goal. And in June of 2021, Denise passed away unexpectedly from an illness. Kind of killed me. All right. Denise and I were joined at the hip. We were on the phone all day if we weren't online together on stream. And she was just she was the woman I wanted to be when I grew up, even though I was older than she was. But I wanted to be her. She was just everything that exemplified wonderful in this world in my mind. And so losing her was a devastating loss for me. But I pulled myself together. Every time I talk about her, I start to lose it, even 5 years later. But after she passed away and after I got over the initial trauma of that, I decided I didn't want her work to stop. I didn't want it to go to waste. I didn't want her energy to stop. I wanted it to be flowing through my life always. So I took up the case. I said, "All right, I'll do it. I'll do it." So I start covering this case. And I'm doing the best I think I know how to, right? And I poured my life. The case became my life, day in, day out, every day. Court cases, hearings, trials, you name it, whatever was going on, I was doing it. One of the things I did every day was watch the court page. The court had a portal where every time there was a document, they'd upload it immediately. And I would refresh that thing every couple of minutes all day long, every business day that there was, because there were documents coming like crazy. Remember, there were two defendants, Lori and Chad, two sets of defense attorneys, and three really powerful prosecutors. We had Lindsay, Rob Wood, and Rachel Smith. At the end, we had all three of them. So there were documents everywhere, and I would get them. I would put them up on YouTube. I'd read through the entire document. I'd explain what the documents meant and what's going on legally. If I didn't have that answer, I would consult a friend that I had made. I made a friend who was a lawyer. Okay, it was great. And she was really generous with her time to come and answer questions for me or for anybody in chat. I could email her any time of the day or night. I could call her whenever I wanted with legal questions, and she would answer it for the case. And it was amazing. What a resource, right? If you're trying to do that. It was really nice. So she came to be a friend to me, and she started coming on streams with me, which was amazing. And I'm like, "All right, this is going great. This is going great." We're providing really good, solid information to people following the case because I've got all the coverage and the stuff, and she was over here giving all the legal interpretations. It was wonderful. This was before LawTube. LawTube wasn't a thing back then, right? We didn't have EDB and Lawyer No and Brother Counsel and all of those great people. They weren't there back then. Nowadays, it would be a very different scenario. But back then, it was me and this woman friend that I had made who happened to be a lawyer, muddling through the best we could. And I was happy. I was happy. Uh, but then Lauren Matthias came on the scene. Okay, I had seen Lauren around one of the Facebook groups. Um, I can't say I liked her. I found her to be a little stuck up, a little arrogant, little, me, 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 me. Um, Case in point, I was doing an interview with Anna LeBaron. I don't know if you know who the LeBaron family is. It is a Mormon cult family who moved down to Mexico, and it's a whole story. If you're into studying cults, go Google the LeBaron family. And so Anna LeBaron had asked if I would be willing to interview her. And I jumped at the chance because, wow, we're doing this case. We're learning all about the LDS faith and Mormonism and the cults. And this is the perfect thing for me to have on my channel. And when I scheduled it with her and I posted it in the Facebook group, like, hey, I'm going to be interviewing Anna LeBaron. Here's the link to the live stream. Lauren came back with, I interviewed her before. Here's a link to my live stream. I was like, what? Dude, okay, good for you. I'm happy for you. That was your live stream, but this is mine now. But she kept jumping over me. I did it. I interviewed her first. Me. And it was like, that is the weirdest thing. I was like, that's weird. Who does that? If I had interviewed someone and then somebody else went to say, hey, I'm going to interview, I was like, cool. I can't wait to see it. Right? I don't know. But right then I was like, this woman's not right. Okay. But she had decided around the same time to take my lawyer friend away and swoop her into her world. And my lawyer friend used to come on with me a lot and suddenly started coming on less and less and was going over to Lauren's channel. I'm like, well, stuff happens, people grow apart and like, okay, that's great. She likes her better. Go play with her. And I was just doing my stuff. Uh, yeah, not quite. Until one day, back to where I was talking about the court case, I was constantly refreshing the court documents and I clicked a button and there was this new document up and I grabbed it. It was called a 2211C 2011. I don't remember the exact uh, designation of the document, but something like that. It was all numbers, 20211. I was like, oh, what is this? That doesn't have a title. What is this? And I read it and I'm like, oh, this is a report to the court from the mental health evaluators about Lori Vallow's competency. Whoa, that's big. But I'm like, I've watched a lot of trials. I never heard this be in public before. Huh. Right. So at that time, I was talking a lot with Justin Lum, and we used to always share documents back and forth. Whoever grabbed it first would just send it off to the other one and things like that. And so I'm like, dude, what is this? And he's like, I don't know if we should publish that. I'm going to talk to legal. So he goes to talk to his legal department. I'm like, probably a good idea. And I decided I'm going to talk to my legal department, which was my female lawyer friend. And I'm like, I didn't send her the document, but I said, I got this document. This is what I read. This is what the diagnosis apparently is. Is that something I can publish? And she's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, fine. So I didn't, but we talked about the diagnosis and wow, isn't that crazy? Look at all this stuff. We just had a normal person-to-person conversation about it, as you would. If you read a document, you're going to talk to someone about it. But I also talked to Mr. Mark Means about it. Now, at this time, my lawyer friend knew, don't let her tell you she didn't know, because she will try to do that. But she knew that I was talking to Mark Means. And you know what? Everybody knew about it because I said so on my channel during my lives and videos. I wasn't hiding that from anyone. I also was not hiding it from the family. Every single person in the family that I was talking to at the time, which there are 5 of them, they were all told, by the way, I'm in communication with Mark Means. This is what we're talking about. This is why I'm talking. Okay, great. So they knew everything. All right. And they can tell you that if they want. They don't have to. Don't bug them. Do not bug the family, please. But if you go back and watch all of my videos around the time, you will see me saying, oh, I talked to Mark Means about this today. Oh, yeah, I called Mark Means about that. I was very open and honest about the fact that I was communicating with him. And I called him and like, can I publish this paper? And he was like, what? Where did you get that? Who gave you that? Where did you get that from? And he thought maybe someone was leaking it from the hospital or something. I'm like, no, the court put it up on their website. And of course, his head explodes. Like, what? Because they're not supposed to do that. And they took it down, I think, like a minute or two after. But I got it, and Justin got it, and I think Nate got it too. And Nate even talked about having it. Right. So this is not a big secret thing. Right? If you do enough digging, you'll see that we all talked about this document. Nobody said what it was. Well, almost nobody said who it was. I didn't say anything. Nate Eaton didn't say anything. Justin Lum didn't say anything. Nobody said anything except, do you have a guess? Give you one guess. Dun, dun, dun. Hidden True Crime. They went live with the information about Lori's mental health evaluation publicly. Right? They didn't get that document. I think Lauren said she did, but she did not. You know why? Because I know who did. Because they looked into it. They know who downloaded it. She did not download it. She got that information because I was talking to my lawyer friend about the whole thing, and my lawyer friend told Lauren, or Lauren got it out of my lawyer friend, and they made it public on a live stream. On no planet is a psychologist supposed to discuss somebody's mental health evaluation with a court publicly on a live stream, especially giving his interpretation of the diagnosis and Lori's mental health issues when he's never evaluated her? You don't do that. Okay? You just don't. But somehow they managed to twist this all like it was my fault. I'm like, I didn't make a live stream about it. I'm not out here jumping up and down with Lori Vallow's mental health evaluation. I didn't tell you to do it. In fact, I quite told you the opposite. You did it anyway. All right. Okay. But I got blamed for that. All right. And yes, I have had conversations with Rob Wood's office about that. And, oh, yeah, you're right. The court did put it up. Yep. Yeah. See? Mm-hmm. And Mr. Rob Wood's office investigators, who shall not be named because you don't need their names, you should know it anyway. But did I have anything on social media or YouTube or anywhere where I said the words of Lori Vallow's diagnosis? No. I'm like, then what are you doing? What are you looking at me for? Like, yeah, well, we heard blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm sure you did hear a lot of stuff. Why don't you talk to the people you heard it from? Yeah. So that was something that Lauren Matthias did to me. And that's a big, big deal. Because not only was she lying to the public about my involvement in that, because I didn't do anything, she was using information that she knew should not have been used. And certainly Dr. John should have known he should not be using that. If you are a psychologist, you know better than to do that. What are you doing? But getting that scoop got them a lot of views and a lot of money and a lot of subs. Look at the information they have. Look at that. Wasn't that great? Oh, God, yucky. And I would kind of bet you some money that Lauren Matthias, if she decides to push this issue, will blame it on her lawyer friend, our lawyer friend. Right now, our both mutually ex lawyer friend. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I got pretty close to that lawyer friend, and what I'm seeing all these years later, hindsight is 2020, is that Lauren Matthias was manipulating this lawyer friend very hard, very hard. Uh, and that's why some of the things happened that did. So I am not coming out hard on that lawyer friend. All right, some people are, whatever, that's your deal. But right now, I kind of want to talk to her and be like, hey, I see what happened back then. Let's have a powwow. Let's just sit down and be like, yeah, wasn't that awful? Oh my God, I'm sorry. Yeah, me too. Okay, great. Hug it out. Kumbaya. Everything's great. That's my feeling about her at the moment. So for people that know who she is. Um, but yeah, Lauren did that. They did that, and they blamed it on me, and then lied to the family about me, and then lied to, oh, Mark Means told her. No, he did not. He's not that dumb. Okay, so yeah, there was that. That was a big problem. We were not all friends. I was friend with the lawyer, who was friends with Lauren, because really didn't like Lauren from the start. The first time I met her, and that was just in text in a Facebook group. That wasn't even a meeting, and I was already like, no, right? So, part of the reason that Lauren poached that lawyer friend away from me and started all this was because I wouldn't play with her because I wasn't comfortable with her. I didn't like her. So then starts all these nasty rumors. Um, the rumor started that Awen Reese works for Mark Means. She's helping Lori Vallow. Uh, um, sorry, what? Okay. And they went heavy with that. And people believed them. And I'm like, what are you all talking about? You know exactly what I'm doing. They actually got to someone who was extremely close to me and had her say all this bullshit too. And that's a whole nother world of hurt that we'll go into some other day. But they were relentless, absolutely relentless in pushing this and getting anybody to push it that they could. The flying monkeys aren't. Someone asked who are the flying monkeys. It's lots of people. Now, I can give you names of a couple of them that I figured out, but a lot of them are mostly just people who liked Lauren, because Lauren would go on a live stream and say, "So and so is mean to me," or "Awen's working for the defense. Oh my God, she's lying to everybody. She's lying to the family. She's using you because she's helping Lori Vallow," and just spew all this bullshit, and they would believe it. And instead of thinking for themselves or doing a little digging, they would just come attack me. That's a flying monkey. People that will fly out into the world like the Wicked Witch sends them out of the tower and go do her bidding without any thought in their own head. That's a flying monkey. That is a term commonly used when discussing narcissistic abuse, because it's a very common pattern of behavior that narcissists employ. So, all right, so what Mark Means, yeah. Lori, not Lori Vallow. Uh, Lauren Matthias and her friend knew that I was talking to Mark Means because I wasn't keeping it a secret. Pretty much anyone who followed me knew. Uh, but they loved that because of the information they could get. Um, they would, I mean, I have emails every day. You talked to Mark Means today? Huh? How's Mark? What's going on with Mark? What did Mark say? You talking to Mark? How are things going with Mark? Like constantly fishing for information about things he might have told me. Okay, now I'm a bit naive, I'll give you that, but I'm not that stupid, you know? And also, Mark Means isn't that stupid. Okay. The one leak that he gave me to say, all right, here's a leak, you can publish this. You know what it was? It was that Chad Daybell got a jury summons while he was in jail. That was my big leak, and he scooped me himself. Jerk. He told me I could post it, right? He said, "Okay, I'll send you the jury summon picture." Like, okay, and I'm waiting for it. And he puts it on Twitter before he sent it to me. I'm like, "That's not how scoops work, Mr. Means. You're supposed to let me do it." Oh, sorry. So, uh, that was my relationship with Mark Means. It was comical, right? And farcical in that way. It was not some big deep thing where I was trying to help Lori Vallow. Uh, that's absolutely ridiculous. Hold on one second. I need a drink. So yeah, but that is uh, the reason that it all started after the Did I forget because I've tried to record this like 4 times today. So now my brain does not remember. Did I tell you about the call with Kay Woodcock and that is why they got so upset? Or was that in the recording I did earlier? Chat, can you let me know? I don't remember if I said I don't want to say the whole same thing all over again. Hold on 1 second. Let me wait for chat to catch up to where I am. There's a delay. No, I haven't. Okay. All right. When they released the mental health evaluation thing on their live stream, I lost my mind because obviously that's not supposed to be out there. What are you doing? So I called them all into a phone call. We did a group phone call with Kay Woodcock there too. Kay and there was a couple other people and the lawyer friend and stuff. And I said, "All right, listen, because anything I knew, Kay Woodcock knew, because I was not going to keep anything from the family, not a single darn thing." So she was in that call because she was part of the people who knew about that document, right, and what was released. I said, "Listen, you cannot make that information public. That is not public information. It was released by accident. It's taken off the court website. We've heard from the attorneys. Do not put that information public." Right? But the Matthias crew was so angry that I had dared to chastise them in front of Kay Woodcock. That is what started the entire mess. That's when they started. I think it was the next day they did the newsletter saying about some mysterious podcaster that works for Mark Means. Ooh, she's lying to the family. Dun dun dun. Like, really, really. But that's what we call narcissistic injury, when your ego or your image takes such a bruising in front of someone you are trying to love bomb, you're gonna get mad, right? And so that's what happened. They were so angry that I may have tarnished in their minds their image in front of Kay Woodcock, that they decided I must be destroyed. Um, they had just started to talk to Kay. Even I don't even think Lauren was talking to Kay at that exact moment. It was the lawyer friend who had just started um, talking to some family members, and Lauren was right there with her, and then right behind. So, but the fact that they were going after the family, not going after to harm, but they were going after to get close to the family right when that happened, that hurt their chances. They thought. I didn't think it did. I'm just saying, hey, don't make that public. You know better than that. I told you not to do it. What are you doing? Um, but in their mind, that destroyed their chance of getting close to Kay and Larry. I'm like, all right. And I have an email saying exactly that. How dare you make me look bad in front of Kay Woodcock? I'm like, what? Why did I make you look bad? I said, don't put that information public. I was telling Kay too not to make it public. Nobody can make that public. You know that. But that was the big hurt. That was the initial injury. And when you have a narcissistic injury, they go a little cuckoo. Right? So that's what happened there. That's why it started. And it just snowballed from there. It never, ever stopped. It never stopped. As many as I could tell, 100 people, no, I don't work for Mark Means. I'm talking to the guy, right? He's looking at the big cult picture that the state didn't want to touch for a whole kinds of reasons. But somebody was finally looking at the bigger group of people around Lori and Chad and the cult. In my world, I wanted the cult to at least be exposed so they would stop before this happened again. That was my concern. And it's still going on to this day. Those people involved in that group around Lori and Chad are still doing the same shit today. Their little fireside chats and all that nonsense that brought about Chad and Lori. That's a concern. That's a problem for me. That shouldn't be happening. So yeah, Mark Means was interested in learning about the religious extremism and the different groups that were promoting it and all of that. And that was an important thing. I thought that was extremely important that somebody looked at that. I see a lot of Megan Connor coming up in chat. I haven't seen the woman. I know she's there. I know she's a Cox family member, Cox cousin, I believe. Yeah, I'm not interested in watching her. I know she's defending Lauren, probably because she's going to make a whole lot of money riding Lauren's coattails. That's my interpretation. That is my opinion. Allegedly. Get it? So there. That's what I think about Megan. But I don't know. I haven't really watched her videos, and I don't think I want to. uh, so yeah, that was the beginning of my life with Lauren Matthias on my ass. It was not fun. Uh, so I fought through that as long as I could, dealing with all these people coming at me, screaming at me. How dare you help Lori Vallow? How dare you lie to the family? You're a murderer just like she is. I'm like, oh my God. Right. And it was annoying, but then it got downright scary. Right. Then we started getting doxing threats, uh, all kinds of death threats and emails. And it got to the point where I was like, I don't feel safe. Right. Now, Miss Priss over here, sitting there in her live hour, and I don't feel safe. Why? Because one person makes a mean TikTok about you because you were mean to them? That's a whole different ball game than having a Gmail box full. Have you ever had a Gmail box get full? I didn't think it was possible. It is. Full of people screaming at you and wishing your death and wishing harm to you because of a lie that somebody else made up. How is that possible? Right? How is that even possible? And it got worse because they didn't stop. They kept going. Because I was like, all right, I'm gonna. I put out maybe the last 2 or 3 videos that you see on my channel were done under extreme duress. I was trying so hard to fight to just like stay focused. Just there's a court document up. Read the court document. That's what you do. Read the words on the court document and keep going. And I tried. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. It was too much. It was too much. Because the second I'd put up a video, boom, all the flying monkey comments, and I would delete them as fast as I could, and they would just make new accounts and come back and come back and come back. And yeah, there's a limit where you're gonna give up. So I gave up. I gave up. They did not give up. Here's another story, and this is something else that Lauren Matthias did to me that hurt other people, and she didn't care. Okay. Um, I got a call about a woman who was in a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, talking about having a recorded phone call with Melanie Gibb, wherein Melanie Gibb admitted to all kinds of stuff. And I was like, what? What? That got my attention. Melanie Gibb was one of my bugbears of this whole case. I still have issues with her, but I was like, what do you? Is this for real? Is this for real? I want this. I want to know. I want to know. So I ran over to that. I was part of that Facebook group, so I jumped in there. I'm like, what is going on? And I'm reading what this woman is saying, and she's saying that uh, Melanie Gibb had called her and had told her the whole story and had said some things that were shocking. And I'm reading this, and I called the person that owned the Facebook group. I'm not naming her name because she is family, and I will protect the family till my dying breath. Okay, but I called this person that owned the Facebook group, and I said, "Is this true? Is this woman nuts, or is this for real?" And I was told, "Oh, it's for real." I was like, "Okay, how do we know it's for real?" She's like, "You want to hear it?" I'm like, "You have the recording?" Like, yeah. I was like, "Yeah, I want to hear it. Come on, let's go." And I heard the recording. And never in my life did my brain get blown like it did that night listening to that audio. And I'm thinking, does the state have this audio? Yep, they have it. And this woman is not in jail? She's like, well, the audio is useless because it was a one party or two party state or whatever, however that works. The woman recorded it without Melanie Gibbs' permission, so they couldn't use it. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I will never be not mad about that. Never, ever, ever, ever. All right. So I get my hands on this recording and I listen to it a bunch of times. Right. And it's 2 hours long. The second hour is just this poor woman telling her own story of her childhood abuse and this and that. None of that should ever be public. That's not Melanie Gibb. That's the woman who was recording it. That's really private stuff. All right. So it was like, didn't want to even listen to it. The first hour, though, was Melanie Gibb spilling the beans. All right. And I was like, oh, good Lord. That's kind of big. But I'm sitting on it and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. I do not know what to do with this recording. And there were a couple people in my orbit who were jumping up and down telling me to publish it. I'm like, I didn't feel good about that. Sure, that would have been the scoop of the trial, right? The scoop of the case, to get this audio out and be the first one to do it. I didn't feel right. So I talked to some people in the family. How do you feel about this? They're like, yeah, probably not. Okay. And I talked to the person, the group where it originated from. I'm like, do you mind if I make a video about not the audio, but make a video about the audio? No, that's fine. Okay. So, and I got a lot of flack from someone in my own world. Like, why would you ask them first? Like, what? Why would you ask the family if you could do that first? Like, why wouldn't I ask the family? Why would you do that without asking the family first? Oh, you don't have to do that. They don't own you. You're allowed to do what you want. I'm like, yeah, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Suddenly, this person that I relied on for a lot of advice and a support system was flipping the script on me. And I'm like, oh, the family comes first in all things. Right. So that started a big fight in my own camp because some of the people were like, you don't owe anything to the family. You just do your stuff and they'll deal with it. I'm like, I was like, no, my entire channel is based on this case, which is about them. I owe them at least the courtesy of asking them first. Do you mind if I do this? Right. That was the very least I could do. So I didn't put it out. I did not release it. I did a live stream talking about it. I had a few little snippets here and there. I made sure that the woman that recorded it, that her voice was removed because this is not about her. I was protecting her. And what these people didn't seem to understand, what Lauren Matthias didn't understand, is that I had a whole ass conversation with the woman that recorded it too before I said anything. I sat down with her. I said, what do you want to do with this? She said, I want it out. I was like, do you want me to put it on my YouTube channel? Yes, I do. Okay. Do you want me to edit out you and edit out the second half of the call? Yes, please. Okay, no problem. I was like, do you want to come on a live stream with me and talk about it? She's like, oh, maybe. She's like, I kind of do. Well, that's kind of scary. So tell you what, I'm going on vacation. I'll talk to you. I'll think about it on vacation. I'll let you know when I get back. Okay, that's fine. Do you want me to talk about this recording while you're on vacation and not play it? Just talk about it and that kind of stuff. Play little clips here and there. And then when you come back, we can do a full interview. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, great. Now, mind you, this entire conversation is in private messages and was put up onto the Reddit board. All right, so you want receipts somewhere on Reddit is this, okay? The whole conversation was there. So I do it. I do the live stream, talk about the thing, talk about the recording, play a few clips, and the woman who recorded it actually left a comment on the video saying, that was so great. Thank you for doing that. I'm like, anytime. Let me know when you want to come out for an interview. Okay, great. Somehow in the meantime, something went really wonky with that. You know what went wonky with that? Lauren goddamn Matthias got her hooks into that woman. All right. And Lauren decides, well, Avon didn't play the whole audio. I could still get a scoop on this. Da, da, da. Right? Lauren's camp starts telling people that I'm making it up. There's no such recording. I'm lying. Like, that's a bold claim. Because if I hit the play button, you're obviously going to look stupid, right? But they tried that claim anyway. Like, all right, knock your socks off. I knew I had the recording. Everyone in my camp knew because we were listening to it. And then they started saying, well, I used it without the woman who had it permission. I'm like, I used it without her permission? The woman who recorded it. How did I get it? Oh, Mark Means sent it to you. I'm like, oh my God, for the love of all that is holy. Every time I came back with, that doesn't make sense, that's not even true, they would come back with something bigger, a bigger lie, a bigger story, a bigger spin, a bigger pile of garbage, right? And then, unfortunately, the woman who had recorded it is, there is no nice way to say this, she is easily manipulated, very easily manipulated. And so she got her head all spun around, all 6 ways from Sunday. That poor woman didn't know what was happening to her, right? And I tried to reach out to her, and she was like, "Oh no!" And I think she actually told me Matthias said I was evil or something like that. I'll have to go see if I can find that. That's an old phone that's been in a closet for 5 years. But if I can find it, that'd be great. But she wouldn't even talk to me at that point because of what Lauren had told her. And then, you want to get the best part? You want to get the best part of this? Guess who interviewed that woman on their channel and acted like she was the one who discovered it all? Lauren goddamn Matthias. And I'm like, wow. Wow. All right. So she spends a couple months making me look like an absolute lunatic for imagining this audio that doesn't actually exist and harassing this poor woman. This poor woman. Awen is so mean. Look what she's doing to this poor woman, right? Just driving this home as hard as she can, and then turns around and interviews her like, hey, guess who I found? I just met a new friend. Oh, look at my new friend. My new friend has a story. Let's listen. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right? So, but the meanwhile, yeah, sure, Lauren's getting the scoop and everything, and I am getting absolutely wrecked online by the people who believed her bullshit. The video of her interview with that woman, I downloaded it. I have it saved on my hard drive. I might just upload it. So there. I don't know. If she took it down, I have it. I do have it. So I'll find a way to upload it that way she can't strike it. I'll have to do some creative thinking on that one. But yes, I have it. But that poor woman was someone who really needed to be taken by the hand. I don't want to be mean to her, but let's just be honest. She's not the brightest person I've ever met. Okay. And I felt so bad for her, especially listening to her story about her life and her childhood, that anyone would purposefully take advantage of her the way that Lauren did is so disgusting. It really is. Because, anyway. So, yeah, it was about that point where I said, I cannot fight back against this. I can't. There was nothing that I could do. What was I supposed to do? Lauren showed that she was not above coming up with the most biggest, boldest, ridiculous, outrageous lies. How do you defend yourself against someone who would turn around and say that they saw me take off in a spaceship if they thought it would help them? You know, she would say anything. She would say anything to take me down. How do you fight against that? And the fact that she would say anything and all of her little minions would believe whatever she said and then come attack me for it, there's no way to fight against that. What are you going to do? to live a life of absolute misery because every time you turn on your computer, everyone on the planet is wanting to kill you? That's not fun. And she's going to sit there in a live stream and cry because she's being stalked. Girl, you have no idea what stalking is. Somebody making a TikTok or 50 because they're mad at you because you did something mean to them, that's not stalking. That's somebody being pissed off. You know how many TikToks or YouTube shorts do you see about women who broke up with their boyfriend and then they put videos of them, lip syncing to songs about men suck, right? There are billions of those videos. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. That's not stalking. That's somebody being pissed and trying to work it out of their system. Okay? So, mm, but I am not in the group chat with Christina, and I don't know what the Seven Gatherers is. I have never heard of Christina until I saw funny thing, when I first started watching the 9-hour video and she was talking about a stalker, I was like, oh, and I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she is being stalked. Oh, this is terrible. And you know who I thought it was? That little lawyer friend. That's who I thought it was at first. Because Lauren kept saying, well, I'm not going to say my stalker's name. I'm going to call her my stalker. And then she proceeded to say her name 2 or 3 times in the video. And then said, oh, I must edit that out. Oh. And she didn't edit it out. You think she was serious? Come on. She did that on purpose. That's how she does things. So yeah, those are 2 of the big things that happened that Lauren Matthias did to me. That court document thing. Well, 3 things. Saying that I was helping Lori Vallow's defense, and then the story of that woman with the recording of Melanie Gibb. Okay? Those are just 3 things. They are just 3 things. So, yeah, I'm not going to give you receipts because I am not going to hurt the woman that recorded that call with Melanie Gibb. That woman does not need it. She doesn't. And all of you flying monkeys, if you're listening to this, don't come at me screaming at me, well, if you don't have receipts and it does not true. I don't care. I don't care what you think. And you're not helping anything. You want me to put all receipts out? Because you think, what, that's going to help Lauren? It is not going to help her. If you care about Lauren and you worship the ground she walks on, your best bet is to leave me the hell alone. Right? So I don't do that. What are you thinking? You're working at cross purposes to your own words. So let's get some logic going here, okay? I don't want to destroy Lauren, but I want people to know this is the kind of shit she does. And I was the first person she did it to because she hadn't even started her YouTube channel back then. I had my channel going long before she did. Okay, so I don't know if there's anyone else she did this to before, but it's not really likely because she didn't have a YouTube channel then. And if she did that to me 5 years ago, how many people has she done this to between then and now? Between then and now. We don't know how many. Some of them are coming out. Cassandra, will you ever put out, if I have to, Cassandra, I would prefer not to because I, unlike these people, I don't believe in releasing private messages. They released a bunch of mine. They put them up all over who knows where, Facebook, Twitter. I don't know where they even did it. I know they did. Lauren and her little friend. I don't believe in doing that. I also don't believe in collateral damage. Okay? I don't believe in me putting out information or documents to get at Lauren that are going to hurt other people. That's not fair to them. That's what they did to me. Okay, that's not fair. I'm not going to hurt the woman that had that audio recording just to get at Lauren. I'm not willing to hurt other people just to get at Lauren. That's not me. I don't do that. Yes, Lauren did say my victims, referring to Kay and Larry. Yes, she did. And that's really kind of what prompted me to come out of the woodwork, is that part of me feels really guilty. All right. I feel guilty. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I do feel guilty that I walked away when maybe I should have stayed and fought. Maybe I should have yelled louder. Maybe I should have jumped up and down. And maybe I should have really, really tried to get the family to listen. Say, no, stay away from that woman. But you don't do that either. If a family is dealing with death and loss and the nightmare that none of us can even comprehend of what they had to go through, you don't call them and talk about internet drama. My goodness. My goodness. Of course not. You know? So I felt my only option was to walk away. Um, I think I still stand by that. I still think that was the right decision. But I do feel a little bit guilty. I really do. That'll never go away. There's nothing I can do to talk myself out of it. That's just how it is. It just had to happen that way, and it sucks. So yeah, um, that is the only parts of my story that I'm willing to talk about at this point, because I think they are neutral enough so nobody else is going to get in trouble. Um, None of these things should have any sort of consequences legally for anyone. So here, these are things that happen that she did to me, and the whole time so many hundreds of people on YouTube, thousands of people believed it and attacked me relentlessly over it. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's not nice. That's not nice. I don't like it, and I'm mad. And now she has no power over me anymore. So I'm here. I'm back. Like Johnny in The Shining. So yeah, I'm trying not to feel guilty. I do feel guilty because I adored them so much. I still do. I adore them so much. Kresha is, I don't know, she has this energy that I think is absolutely magical. Kay and Larry are the grandparents everybody wants. You know, I wish I could have grown up with grandparents like Kay and Larry. My Lord. Uh, they are just truly wonderful people. Truly, truly wonderful people. And it hurts me to think that maybe I could have spared them some of this somehow. But, you know, c'est la vie, c'est la guerre, as they say. I need a drink. 1 second. Oh, also, please remind me I need to email Kresha and apologize. I scheduled the live stream. I had no idea she was going live this afternoon. And I was like, oh no. I would never intentionally schedule a live stream over the top of Kresha. So I must apologize for that. I'm sure she'll understand because her and I, we were just trawling around the internet this morning, and both of us got sucked into somebody else's live stream. We did not plan on that. That was hilarious, and it was great. It was so great. That was that Granny's watching that channel. Remind me, you got to remember to link that too. It was wonderful. It was so good. So, yeah, that is the core of my story. That is the core of what Lauren Matthias did to me. Basically, she told the internet and YouTube and everyone connected to the Vallow Daybell case a whole pile of giant, nasty, gnarly lies about me until they ran me off the internet, because she got all of her flying monkeys to come and really do their damage, and they did some damage, and they ran me off the internet. And yeah, I got sick from it. I needed a doctor because I developed an ulcer. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. And just, it was awful. It was awful. But I have a good husband who I actually love. I don't know what's going on with them too, but they have a weird relationship. My husband, although, is a saint, and with his love and my children's love and the good foundation that I do have spiritually, I got through it okay. Took me a while, but I got through it, you know? So that's what happened. All right, I'm going to hang out for a few minutes. If you want to ask me any questions, I'm going to start looking at chat. If I miss questions, sorry, I can't really read chat while I'm talking because then I stop talking and I just stare at the screen. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. If I can't answer it, I'll just say that. But if I can't answer it, I will. Uh, Joe, Joe, yeah, they don't have to like and subscribe. I'm not monetized. Yeah, that's another thing. My channel is not currently monetized. I have not turned that back on, so don't worry. I'm not making any money out of this. I've been accused of that all morning. How could you make money off this? I'm like, what? I'm not. It's not monetized, dumbass. It's crazy. People are nuts. All right, let me see if I can find some questions. Thank you for the welcome backs. I'm having a blast being back here. I wish it was under better topics, but um, Miss, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I assume at some point her and I will have a conversation. Uh, Wanted the title of a doctor's wife? Yeah, probably. Am I considering going on Turtle Boy's channel? I am actually considering it. Someone has reached out to him and with my permission given Turtle Boy my phone number if he wants to call me. I did chat with him briefly last night in his live stream through his chat and a super chat that I sent him. So he's aware of me. He did actually watch my first video for Lauren, so he's aware of me. If he wants to interview me, I would probably go on. I probably would. Cats or dogs? I'm a cat person. I'm sorry if that offends anyone, but I actually rescue feral prenatal kittens. That's kind of my jam. Get them all healed up and ready to go. You missed the antlers. Betty Boop, remember the antlers that we used to? Oh, that was so funny. I deserve to make fun. Yeah, if I come back to YouTube, I will remonetize the channel because you do. Like, I've spent $75 in the last couple days just getting software that I needed to be able to do a live stream, because I didn't have my video editing software. I didn't, oh yeah, so yeah, I would make money at least to cover my costs, if nothing else. But I won't be monetizing this kind of content because this is not something I've ever done before, and I certainly wouldn't want to monetize it. But if I do regular stuff, I will. Aiden will show you the utmost. I know he would. And this is going to sound really weird, but watching Aiden, I felt safe. Like I like when you're a little kid and you're in the playground and somebody's fighting at you and you run behind your dad's pants, you grab him behind the knees and you stick your head out and stick your tongue out at the bully, and your dad walks up and pops him on the head. That's what I felt like watching Aiden. Is that crazy? I am 54 years old. I should not be feeling like a little girl on a playground waiting for someone to kick my bully. So yeah, that's how I felt. So I would absolutely feel comfortable with Turtle Boy. And like I said in my first video, you do know you're in hot water when Turtle Boy is on his live stream drawing arches on his forehead because of your shit. I would not want to be in that place. Goodness. Uh, yeah, his videos, they are absolutely hilarious. Yeah, that's how I feel. Curious cat. And maybe because he is the first person in all these years to really stand up to her and just be like, "Oh, quit your shit." He's the first person to ever do that to Lauren Matthias. Um, yeah, he's gonna have a fan base of old scared housewives marching behind him like, "Yay, get her, get her." That's the most ridiculous shit ever. It's ridiculous. Does Lauren have a chin implant? I don't know. It looks weird. My email, it should be, I'll tell you, but if you forget it, it should be in the description of any video on my channel. It's awinreesepodcast@gmail.com. I am at Awen Reese on Twitter. I'm not giving out my phone number because that's it. I don't really use TikTok or Instagram or any of that stuff. I'm old, so I use Twitter and YouTube and Gmail. That's it. That's all I got. But yeah, I Haven't eaten breakfast today because not because I'm sick or anything, but I woke up. I was like, okay, I got to get going on my video. But then Granny's watching, sent a message like, oh, let me go check that out. Ended up in there for an hour or two. Then the power's going in and out. And then trying to record, and it just kept getting wiped. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should eat. Jay is for justice. Hi, Jay. Jay, I'd like to have a talk with you, man. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. I know that you and I were always in very different corners of the true crime world. Our paths didn't really cross, our cases didn't really cross, that kind of stuff. But I've seen you bopping around. I've seen a lot of your lives lately. I watched the court hearing on your stream because you had the best audio. So everyone, if you don't know Jay is for Justice, please go give her a sub. So Every Day with Jay is her channel now. And thank you. I want to thank you. Absolutely. Heartfelt, sincere thank you to Jay's for Justice. Glad you're here. I don't use Reddit. I did use Reddit. Shelly Beans. I used to use Reddit a lot. I even had my own Reddit board and all this stuff. I didn't when Lauren Matthias decided that Reddit was the best place to crucify me. And now I can't look at Reddit because I will break out in hives. Oh, hold on. That is the lawyer. Let me mute for 1 second. Okay, sorry. Just had to get the lawyer, the plumber, not the lawyer. The lawyer's back. No, the plumber is back, not the lawyer. Good grief. So yeah, I might have a little PTSD streak that I probably should deal with. Probably should. I don't like going to therapists, but I'm thinking I'm trending on Reddit now. Why? Oh, good God. I don't want to be on Reddit. Good grief. Cats versus dogs. Yeah, we can do a stream about cats versus dogs. Yeah, I really don't. I don't want to look at Reddit. I don't want. Joe PA, one of the mods here. Joe's kind of like my buffer. Like, Joe, look at it for me. Tell me it's safe. So, yeah, I don't like Reddit. Reddit was not kind to me during these times, even though I was proving with receipts that what they were saying was a lie. Reddit just got really nasty. So I don't want to do that. Does it look like anybody ever proofread a Mark Means? Joe, that's what started the whole thing with Mark Means, was because I would take the court documents and read them into the video, and then post the images. But the typos, that man is not a typist. He's not good with grammar, or spelling, and they were so painful. So painful. His spelling and grammar were atrocious. And while I was on a live stream, I offered, please let me proofread your court filings, because I'm the one that has to read them out loud. So I'd like them to at least be proper. So yeah, I absolutely 100% offered to proofread his court filings and edit them. He never let me, even when we were talking all the time. He still would not let me proofread his court documents. He's like, because you can't read it till it's filed. I was like, well, I got it. You need a proofreader. I was like, then let me be a proofreader. He's like, nope. Nope. You don't do this. So if I worked for him, the first thing I would have done would be get my hands on those motions and get them spelled properly. All right. I have perfect spelling and grammar, not when I'm speaking, but my written spelling and grammar is perfect. I am a stickler for that. So yeah, there's proof right there that I never worked for the man, because go read his motions. Okay. Ugh. Good Lord. Yeah, that was a big problem for me. Very, very big problem. But you know what? I am going to say this, just because if Mark Means gets wind of all this stuff, he's not going to be real happy, I'm sure. He is the nicest guy, right? I know a lot of people dislike defense attorneys when they don't like the client. That's kind of a normal thing. I get that. I think this case might have been a bit over his head. He certainly was not expecting a big national or even global attention that this case got. But he is the nicest freaking guy I've ever met. He is caring and compassionate and empathetic, and he was just so nice. We fought a lot. We did fight because he wouldn't give me what I wanted. He wouldn't tell me all the dirt. So we would fight, but we would fight in a good-natured way. He was really supportive when I thought I might want to go to law school because I was so fascinated by this. He was super supportive. He's like, "You get a degree, you call me. You got a job." Right? So yeah, maybe I could have worked for Mark Means if I had gone and gotten my JD first. He doesn't really hire random YouTubers for his law office. Come on, you know. Yeah, I did not like John Pryor for other reasons, but not because he was a defense attorney. But Mark Means he's a really sweet guy. He is a great dad. He coaches his daughter's sports team. His wife is drop dead gorgeous, and he's just a nice guy. And I am sad that any of this reflected back on him. That's not fair to him. He was doing his dang job. And um, I used to feel that way about defense attorneys until I read Kirk Nermy's book. And Paul and I did a whole one of our book podcasts about Kirk Nermy's book about the Jodi Arias case and how he felt defending her. And that really changed my mind and my perception of defense attorneys. So if you struggle, that might be a good book to read. But remember, back then we didn't have LawTube. We didn't have Emily D. Baker. We didn't have Lawyer. We didn't have all of these amazing lawyers. Some of them are criminal defense attorneys in the LawTube sphere. You know who we had? We had Scott Reich. Oh, that didn't help the perception of criminal defense attorneys at all, in my opinion. But that was back during Chris Watts' days. So yeah, good grief, good grief. Remember Scott Reich, Jay? Yeah. Yeah, that guy. But yeah, our current. Oh, you love him? Oh, oops, sorry. I didn't like the guy. I did. Whenever he was driving around in his car, he'd always make sure his camera was angled so you could see the Mercedes logo. And I thought about doing that too. Like, look, Scott, I got one too. Is he still around? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I might have to go check. No, I don't want to. I don't want to see it. But I didn't like the guy. Arrogance, like, oh goodness. But yeah, he was our LawTube. He was kind of like the extent of LawTube back in the Chris Watts days. So I'm very happy with our current selection. Very happy. Yeah, Kirk Nermy had a really hard time after the Jodi Arias case. He had to give up his law license, but he was like, tough. I don't care. I'll give it up. I'll give it up. I'm doing this book. He battled cancer. He's lost a ton of weight, and he's started his new career. He's been on TV, on court TV and stuff, and he is very interactive. You can go to Twitter and chat with him. He's a great guy. So yeah, Kirk Nermy is awesome. I see Colby's name coming up. Let's see. Colby. Colby is family. And one thing I will never do is sit here and say anything against the family. My heart breaks for Colby for what he's been through. I can't imagine the life that he's lived. I cannot imagine it. And I hope all the best for him and his beautiful wife and his beautiful children. That's all I'm going to say about Colby. Because it's just that's how I really feel. If I saw Colby like in person, I would give him a great big hug. I'd be like, hey, you want pizza? Let's go get pizza or something. Maybe healthy. I know he likes healthy food, but come on in. Oh, hold on. I got to mute the mic because I have to yell. Sorry about that. I did not plan this very well today with power outages and plumbers in and out. But yeah, that is the end of everything I needed to say today. It was going to be in video format. It just did not work out that way. But I think I might actually spend the evening getting all of my recording software downloaded again and then reinstalled, and maybe even go look for a camera. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't need to be on camera. You don't need to see my face. You know what I look like. Go look at my old videos. Uh, so I'm gonna do that. I think about coming back to YouTube, not full time about Lauren Matthias. I maybe have, we'll see what she does from here, but for my own stuff, things that are interest to me, things that I'd like to share, and we'll just see where it takes me. So thank you so much for coming to this live stream. I know it was impromptu; it's the middle of the day, but man, if I lost my recording one more time, I was going to lose my mind. So this was just easier. And I miss chatting with people. I have missed it so much. I had so much fun this morning over at Granny's channel getting to chat with people. Love it. All right. So thank you very much. Um, Mods, I'm going to leave you as mods if you don't mind. Feeding It. Oh my God, I didn't know you were here. Feeding It was one of my original mods all these years. She is still here like a rock by my side. There is so much crap I would not have been able to get through without her. Please give Feeding It a monster round of applause. Oh, I didn't even know she was here in chat. Oh my goodness. I love you so much. You know that. You are my girl. Yeah. Oh, it is so good to see those pixels again. Woohoo. So yeah, the band is back together, baby. We're gonna do some things. Good things, positive things, not drama things. And this might be the last time I ever have anything to say about Lauren Matthias, because I said what I need to say. So there we go. Let's move on to bigger and better and brighter things. Who knows? I might end up on Turtle Boy later talking about her again. I don't know. So, all right, I'm gonna go get food. I'm starving to death, and go see what my plumbers are up to. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. You guys have made me feel like coming back was absolutely the right choice, and I cannot thank you enough. So I'll be around. Thanks for now. Wait, I don't know how to stop this. I forget how to stop the live stream. Um, uh, anyone know? Oh wait, it's in StreamYard, right? Not YouTube. All right, here we go. I'm going to click the end stream button. Bye. Thank you, and I'll see y'all around.